This video is about German questions. It's going to focus on questions using question words. What are question words? Question words, or Fragewörter, are words like who, what, when, and the following list. So what are these in German? Here is a nice chart. Wer, was, wann, wo, warum or wieso, wie, wie viel or wie viele, was für. Questions with question words are set up much the same as those in English. Let's try some simple questions. They start with a question word and then have a verb and then have a subject. For example, who is the man? This in German would be Wer ist der Mann? We then have when is the party? In German, wann ist die Party? If you wrote Die Partei, you were thinking of political party, which is also a party, just not the same kind. Questions that do not have to be as the verb start looking more complicated, but the same format stands. The main problem for students is the verb. If you watched the video about present tense, this is helpful. Remember that German does not have ing verbs. For example, I go, I am going, and I do go are all ich gehe. It is important to check to see if there is a second verb in English, and remember that that is one verb in German instead of two. So we have here question word, verb, subject, and second verb is our new format. For example, when is the man singing? Make sure you're noting that in German, where there is one verb, there were two in English. So here, is the verb is or is the verb is singing? We have wann singt der Mann? That is the question. We also have what are you playing? Remember, again, is the verb are, like the verb here is, or is the verb are playing? Was spielst du? The verb is are playing. Some questions have more words in the sentence. Usually, this is another noun, like a direct object or time. If you have a direct object in the sentence, you should check out the 3 videos about nominative and accusative. Direct objects are accusative. You want to make sure you aren't just putting words in the right order, but also that you are using the right case. In German, verbs are usually second, which is the case in regular sentences and also in questions with question words. The subject has to be next to the verb, either first or third, and in questions with question words, the subject is third because the question word is first. This means that the rest is after the subject. Let's try a few. We start with a question word, then we have our verb, our subject, our second verb, and the rest. For example, what are you reading now? In German, this is Was lesen Sie jetzt? Note, the verb is are reading. That's lesen. It's not what are you now, it's what are you reading now. Are reading is lesen. The next question. When is Claudia going to the movies? You could always pause the video after I tell you the sentence in English and try it in German on your own. For this question, we have Wann geht Claudia ins Kino? The next question is, how often or how much does he play basketball? Pause the video if you'd like. How often or how much is wie oft or wie viel? Spielt is the verb. It's not does. How often does he basketball? It's does play. How often does he play basketball? That verb is spielt. Basketball. We have a weird one. What kind of is a super weird question, word, or phrase. It is strange because it demands an object of a preposition, in this case of, but in German the question, word, or phrase is was für. Für is an accusative preposition. Feel free to watch more about accusative in the videos so that this makes sense, or just leave it for now. It is also strange because the object is part of the question phrase. We have a question phrase, a verb, a subject, a second verb, and the rest. For example, what kind of music do you listen to? Gladly. In English, this sounds better as like to listen to, as in, what kind of music do you like to listen to? But this is what you really mean, especially in German. What kind of music do you listen to gladly? What kind of music is was für Musik? Is the verb do or is the verb do listen to? It's do listen to. Hörst. Du gern. You can always pause the video to try these on your own. We now have what kind of sports does she play on Tuesday? You should have was für Sport. Sport is sports. There isn't a plural here. Spielt, does play is the verb. Sie am Dienstag. Also be careful. What you mean is not always what you say. For example, what books do you like? What here is not what you really mean. You mean either what kind of or which. What kind of books do you like? Or which books do you like? Those are truly your options. If you choose which, then watch the dare word video to see how to do this. If you choose what kind of, then you should follow the previously mentioned example above. Since some of you may want to know how to say this now, your options are either Was für Bücher magst du? Or Welche Bücher magst du? We have here the following examples. Feel free to review the video. If you don't remember how to say any of these question words, pause the video now and try these on your own. You should have Wo wohnt er? Wann kommt deine Freundin? Was magst du gern? Warum machen Sie Hausaufgaben? Wie viel kostet das? Was für Filme sehen Sie gern?